What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 7-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by Super Draft. It's looking like another good slate today with a lot of interesting matchups and also a good amount of guys rolled out that should open some opportunity for their teammates. So let's get that power of positivity going, and right now, please hit that like button if you want to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of Super Draft. Like the video and comment your top value play according to Draftkings salaries down below. We do have a winner from yesterday's video who I'll announce a bit later on, so if you want to join them at the Awesemo Plus pay window, like this video and comment your top value play down below. By now you know the drill. We've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners, so let's get right to it, starting with our first corner of the top owned plays in Terry Rozier in a matchup versus Memphis, which there are 111.5 implied points for Charlotte. Rozier has 30% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 21% on FanDuel. Rozier saw less minutes last game due to foul trouble, but he remains a key rotational player for Charlotte, and he's too cheap on Draftkings in particular in a pace-up spot going against the poor defending Memphis team. Another top-owned play looks to be Ben Simmons in a matchup at Orlando, in which there are 101.8 implied points for Philadelphia. Simmons gets 29% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he gets 24% on FanDuel. Simmons is a worse per minute player without Joel Embiid, even though he should see an uptick in usage, and his price is a bit too low, even though Orlando's league-low pace does cut into his upside on paper. And a more value-forward top-owned play looks to be Rondé Hollis-Jefferson in a matchup at Portland. RHJ will get 24% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he gets 66% on FanDuel. Hollis-Jefferson's near minimum price on FanDuel is more appealing, but the 29 minutes he saw last game versus the Clippers with OG Anunoby now out again are appealing on both sites in a far better spot at Portland. And now let's get on to our next corner of the top value plays, starting with Kyle Kuzma in a match versus the Warriors, in which there are 114 implied points for the Lakers. Kuzma could see a minutes limit increase with Anthony Davis out, and he should at least see additional usage going against the bad Golden State defense with his salary low enough to be playable. And another cheap, questionable value, guys, Ben McLemore in a match versus the Clippers, in which there are 117.8 implied points for Houston. McLemore is a possibility to start for Danuel House, and he's cheap enough to take a few stabs on, but he's at a high risk of losing minutes to Eric Gordon as he did last game when House went out. And once again, Chris Boucher looks like a good value play at Portland in a game in which there are 108 implied points for Toronto. Boucher saw less minutes last game due to foul trouble, and his price remains low enough to have interest going against a defensively worse Portland team and with more minutes to go around overall with OG Anunoby out. And for our next corner, I would hit on some of the plays most affected by the news floating around out there, starting with Al Horford in that matchup at Orlando, in which there are 101.8 implied points for Philly. It's not a great matchup at Orlando, but Horford averages 1.4 fantasy points per minute and a good amount of court time without Joel Embiid, and his price is down thanks to the matchup. And this guy's also affected by AD being out. LeBron James in that matchup versus the Warriors, in which there are 114 implied points for the Lakers. LeBron averages 1.71 fantasy points per minute with 38% usage in court time without Anthony Davis. And with Golden State's defense incredibly bad, LeBron could hit his ceiling with no one else to take the onus off of him on the Lakers. And I'm curious about Jeff Teague's status for Karl Anthony Towns in a match versus San Antonio, in which there are 114 implied points for Minnesota. Towns is a 1.75 fantasy point per minute player with the currently questionable Jeff Teague, and he's a 1.57 fantasy point per minute player without him. But his price is low enough that he's fine without Teague, while Andrew Wiggins is 20% worse when he's playing with Jeff Teague in. And for our last corner, let's hit on some of the lower owned dart throws I like tonight, including Jaylen Brown in a match versus Washington, in which there are 118.8 implied points for Boston. Jaylen has over 16 shots and 45 fantasy points in the 2 games with Gordon Hayward out, and his rising price will keep his ownership down despite a cake matchup versus Washington. I'm also intrigued by the lower owned Fred VanVleet in a matchup at Portland, in which there are 108 implied points for Toronto. VanVleet played 45 minutes and 20 shot attempts last game versus the Clippers, and now he's in a better matchup with people off them due to his rising price, with big opportunities still thanks to Kyle Lowry's absence. And I'm also intrigued by a price down Nikola Vucevic in a matchup versus Philadelphia, in which there are 102.8 implied points for Orlando. Vuce has 3 straight games over 48.25 fantasy points with 15 plus shot attempts in each, and his ownership will be low thanks to other popular stud plays, even though his salary is less than it should be based on recent performance. So there you have it. That's what I'm seeing so far for tonight's 7-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button. And if you want to win that free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of Super Draft, like the video and comment your top value play according to Draftkings salaries down below. If you haven't yet, make sure to head over to superdraft.io because they are the presenting sponsor of the Four Corners. They're also offering a great deal where you get $20 free with any $100 deposit. That's instant release money. You get it right away. You also have a bunch of overlay under tournaments, including their multiplier tournaments where you don't even have to know salaries at all. So go right now to superdraft.io and use the promo code AWESEMO, AWESEMO, for your $20 free in Super Cash. And we also have projections for Super Draft as well as all the other sites if you use this promo code SWITCHANDHEDGE for half off your first month. Go to awesemo.com/join and find packages as low as $3.95 a week on there. So head over to awesemo.com/join and choose a package that'll work for you. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I've got 7 days a week of NFL and NBA content, including the strategy show this morning with my boy Laffy. So check out what I'm up to, including some days as early as 6 a.m. on the West Coast. Check out what I'm doing on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. Tonight on Live Before Lock, you've got the Chubster Josh Engelman and Fast Eddie Fierce to tune in then. And of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another Four Corners. So thank you for watching. Hit that like button before you go. And as always, good luck.